lovely Lifebook students. My name is Mariëlle and today I'm back with my bonus lesson for Lifebook 2018. Being a busy working mom, I know how hard it can be to find time for yourself and for your art, but I also know that for many of us, being creative daily is essential to our emotional well-being and an important part of taking good care of ourselves. So over the years I've learned a few things that help me make most of my time and get more art done. In this lesson I will share my tips with you while creating a simple but fun and cute art journal page.
Tip 1. Couch journaling. Ideally, an artist works at an easel, a drawing table or a desk. But unfortunately, I live small and I don't have space dedicated to making art. When I film tutorials, I work on my dining room table. But honestly, most of my journal pages are made sitting on my couch, watching TV and with a nice cup of tea or a glass of red wine. It's my favorite way to relax after a busy day. And while I watch a favorite show or talk with my husband, I get quite a bit of creative work done. Tip 2. Easy access. Before I can sit down and relax, there are always bills to be paid, laundry to be folded and emails to be answered. So when all that is done, I don't want to spend a lot of time searching for my stuff. Easy access is key. So instead I keep some favorite items close. At first I use a pencil roll for this, then an art box, and at the moment I use an IKEA cart that I can move around easily. I don't have all my materials in there, just some favorite materials that are suitable for couch journaling, which brings me to tip 3. Less mess.
If you're working on your couch, you want materials that are easy to grab, easy to clean and tuck away, and that are not too messy. I love spray inks, Jane Davenport's mermaid markers, etc. But those are not mess-free and not really ideal if you don't want to ruin your furniture. My absolute favorite materials for working on my couch are: number 1, my watercolor pencils. These babies are also ideal for traveling. I just fill the empty spaces with a few pencils and markers and I have all I need. I also really love my Neocolor 2 crayons and my watercolor pens. This is only one of my palettes and it's filled with Daniel Smith watercolors that I poured in empty pens. And then there are my bright, juicy and fun Ecoline brush pens by Royal Talents. These are similar to Tombows, but much cheaper here in the Netherlands. And this is what we're going to use today.
Tip 4. Learn from limits. Now, if you are really into mixed media, acrylics, collage and layers, my favorite supplies may look a bit boring to you. But there is a lot to be learned from limiting your supplies. Last year I participated in a limited supplies challenge by Ali Brown, where only 5 supplies were allowed, with just a watercolor pencil, a distress marker, 2 Ecoline brush pens and a white Posca. I drew a cute little flower girl. If you don't believe I only used those 5 to create this piece, just watch the video on my YouTube channel.
Tip 5. Small and sweet. I really love working on big sheets of watercolor paper, but when you're working on your couch, that is not really ideal. So I'm going to show you some of my smaller journals that I really enjoy working in, and I'll tell you a bit about the pros and cons. Let me start with this one. This is an A5 journal. It's by Fabriano. And I have almost finished it now. Yeah, almost there. Just a few pages left. And what I really like about this journal is that the quality of the paper is really great. And it works really well with my watercolor pencils. So when I go on a holiday, this is my go-to journal. Only one downside, it's landscape. And I really prefer a portrait-sized journal. So I wish Fabriani would make that, but unfortunately they don't. So that's why I bought this one. This one is by, I think it's Canson. Yeah, it is Canson. And it's quite good. I prefer a bound journal over a ring-bound journal, but there are some advantages to ring-bound journals. For example, you can just do that and you even have a smaller size paper on your lap. So the paper is quite good, a bit rougher than a Fabriano, but it works well. I've worked in this, for example, with crayons. These are by the Distress Crayons by Tim Holtz, and that works quite well. So quite a good journal as well. Then I have a Fabriano in A4 because I also wanted to be able to work on a larger scale. But as you see, this too is landscape, not portrait size, and to have this on your lap is not really handy. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it on my couch, but it's because I love the paper so much. But it's not an ideal journal for that. A better A4 journal is this one. This one is by Strathmore, and unfortunately it's a bit hard to get over here in the Netherlands, but I really love this one. It's the watercolor version, cold press, heavyweight paper, and I think this is one of the only journals that are actually finished until the very last page. So this journal is complete, and I think I will be buying more of these again in the future. And also this one, you can fold it like that and have a good size on your lap. Now this is a tiny one. It's by C. White of Brighton. It's a square journal, and the paper in it is okay. It's a mixed media paper, so it works well for mixed media, but it's not ideal for watercolor. I can make it work by being a bit careful. This was my lesson for Art Journal Summer School last year. You can make it work, and the paper is quite thin, so there are many pages in it, and it's a reasonably priced journal, and I'm sure I will be filling more pages from this one as well. I already said last year I did Art Journal Summer School. I was one of the guest teachers, and this year I'm one of the guest teachers as well, and I found this one, and this is by Mariëlle. It's a German brand, and I really love Mariëlle paper. I have a lot of their papers, the large sized watercolor blocks, and then I found this journal, and it is bound, which I love. It even has this little thingy here, I don't know what it's called, this ribbon. It has an elastic band to close it, and the paper in it is just really yum. I really love that. And okay, let me show you. I only have done one page of it, and that's my Art Journal Summer School lesson for 2018. But when this bonus lesson airs, everyone will have seen it. So that is my lesson for Art Journal Summer School this year, and I hope to be filling this journal up this summer with all the lessons from all the different teachers. And I think I've really fallen in love with this one. Something I also like, this is not a journal, just a blog, but this is a blog by Arche, and it's heavyweight, hot pressed watercolor paper in a reasonable size, a bit smaller than A4, and I really love this. This was done with my Ecoline brush pens, and it's great for stamping as well, so this is also a good choice for working on your couch. And then the last one I'm going to show you is this one. This is a travel's notebook by Jane Davenport, and I've taken this with me too when I was on a holiday last year in France, and I will be taking it with me again. I'm quite sure of that. And I have here the regular paper that comes with the journal, which I like for a bit of mixed media and colored pencil. But I also bought the watercolor paper because, well, watercolor, that is me. So I know these are not really large projects, but still I have a lot of fun making them.
Tip 6. Use a template. If you've seen my main lesson for Livebook 2018, you will know that I like using templates, mostly because it saves me a lot of time trying to get a perfect oval. My advice to you: make several of these in different sizes based on portraits you drew and that you really like the proportions of. Or use the one I provided in my main lesson and print them in different sizes. Tip 7. Use a stamp. I really love drawing girls with big flowers in their hair, but sometimes I choose a shortcut, using a big flower stamp, like this one by Dutch artist and designer Marleen Meijer van Niekerk. Isn't it gorgeous? Tip 8. Use a stencil. Stencils and ink are often used for layering in mixed media pieces, but here I use it to create a pattern in a dress and for quickly coloring in the background. Look how fast! Working on this girl, her eye was starting to bother me more and more, and I was about to throw the whole thing out and start over. But then I thought, why not grab a Posca? Can't correct this with my brush pens, but a paint pen will do the trick. everything fails, you could try aromatherapy. What is keeping you from creating? Is your mind all over the place and do you need focus? Try rosemary and lemon. Are you way too stressed out to create? Try lavender, geranium and chamomile. Or try a mix of frankincense for inspiration, combined with clary sage for clarity of vision, mandarin for joy, and lavender to help you speak your truth. And my final tip, just do it. Don't wait for the perfect time, don't wait for inspiration. Grab a few simple supplies and create.